Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be revising the 2, 4 and 8 times tables. So we're learning to recall our knowledge of the 2, 4 and 8 times tables, and to be successful we're going to need to recall the links between these tables, so talk about how they're connected and the patterns between them. We're going to have to say these times tables, we're going to have to answer questions correctly on Hit the Button, and then you're going to have to answer some missing number problems. And the way that you're going to be learning this today is through listening to this PowerPoint and watching the slides and then going on to your further tasks that I've just explained. Now we're going to start off with the 4 times table, and we've got a question here which has been set for us that asks how many wheels are there? Count in groups of 4. And it's given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, 5 groups of 4, and it's provided us with a number line to help us. Now what we need to do here is count on in 4s 5 times. So we're going to start off at 0 and we're going to jump on a 4. So 4, then 8, 12, 16, 20. So there are 20 wheels altogether. And that can be represented in a multiplication sentence, 5 times 4 equals 20. Or, because multiplication is commutative, we can also represent that as 4 times 5 equals 20. Now, we can use this method to build up the times tables. We know that if there's 0 cars, well, there's going to be 0 wheels. If there was 1 car, there'd be 4 wheels. 2 cars, there would be 8 wheels. 3 cars, there'd now be 12 wheels. 4 cars, 16 wheels. 5 cars, 20 wheels. And 6 cars, 24 wheels. So by counting on in 4s, it means that we do not need to count all of the individual wheels on the car, so it's a much quicker strategy. Now, we can use this strategy to build up the entire 4 times table. As you can see, it has been done here. Now, boys and girls, we already know our 4 times table, but it's always good to revise it again. You can see over here that there is a table that shows the 4 times table. So let's quickly have a go at saying that together. 0 times 4 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 times 4 is 32. 9 times 4 is 36. 10 times 4 is 40. 11 times 4 is 44. And 12 times 4 is 48. Now we're going to have a look at both of the tables, the 2 times table and the 4 times table, to see if we notice any patterns between them. So on the left hand side is of course your 2 times table, and the right hand side the 4 times table. Now I want you to take a second to think about any patterns that you notice. You might even want to pause this video as you do that. Now one of the things that I noticed straight away is that all of the products in both of the tables are even. There are no odd products in either of those tables. The other thing I noticed is that all of the products that are in the 4 times table are also in the 2 times table. For example, 4 is in the 2 times table, 12 is in the 2 times table, and so is 24 in the 2 times table as well. Now we can show this by using a Venn diagram. And we can sort these numbers into multiples of 2 and multiples of 4, or numbers that are in both of the tables. So let's have a look and see. The first one is 0, and I wonder, do you think that is a factor, or a product, sorry, in the 2 times table, the 4 times table, or both? So have a wee second to think about that. And it is of course in both of them, because 2 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 0 is 0. The next one is 2. Have a think about if 2 is a product in the 2 times table odd in the 4 times table, or is it in both of these tables? And it is of course just a product in the 2 times table, a multiple of 2. It does not come in the 4 times table. Next up is 4. I wonder, is that just going to be a multiple of 2, a multiple of 4, or is it in both of these times tables? So think about that again for a wee second. And it is of course in both of the times tables, because 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 1 is 4. The next up is 23. Now, would that be in the 2 times table or the 4 times table, or both? Well, it's an odd number, isn't it, boys and girls? And remember that we noticed that there is no odd numbers that are products in the 2 or 4 times table. So 23 is actually in neither of these tables, so that wouldn't go into our Venn diagram. The next up is the number 14. Now, I know a lot of people think 14, oh, it's got the number 4 in it, so that must be in the 4 times table. But actually, it's only a multiple of 2. 14 is not a product in the 4 times table. Next up is the number 31. And what do you think, boys and girls, where would this number go? Well, it's an odd number, so it wouldn't go in any of those tables, so well done if you got it. Next up is 20, and that is going to go in both of the times tables, because 2 times 10 is 20 and 4 times 5 is 20. Next up we have 16. Where do you think that would go? And again, it's in both of the tables, so well done if you got that. And finally 40, where do you think it's going to go? It's in both of the tables as well, so well done if you got that, boys and girls. And you can see here that there are some numbers that are just multiples of 2, and all of these numbers in both of the tables, and there are no numbers in the 4 times table that are not also in the 2 times table. So let's move on now to the 8 times table. Here we've got a question. It's asking us how many tentacles are there, counting groups of 8. So it's given us 1 group of 8, 2 groups of 8, 3 groups of 8. So we can count on in 8s, going to 8, 16, 24. There are 24 tentacles in this picture, and we can represent that as a multiplication sentence by saying 3 times 8 equals 24, or we can also show that commutatively as 8 times 3 equals 24. Now, we can continue to count up in 8s to build up the 8 times table. So let's have a go at counting on in 8s. Let's start at 0, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. So you might want to rewind that and do that with me again, boys and girls. Let's try counting back in 8s this time. This is a wee bit trickier. So starting off at 96, 88, 80, 72, 64, 56, 48, 40, 32, 24, 16, 8, 0. Oof, that was a wee bit trickier, boys and girls. You might want to rewind back and try that again to say it along with me. So we can use this repeated addition strategy of counting on 8s to build up the 8 times table. So we know if there were 0 octopuses, oh, well, there'd be 0 tentacles. If there's 1 octopus with 8 tentacles, there would be 8 tentacles. 2 octopuses, there would be 16 tentacles. 3 octopuses, there would be 24. 4 octopuses, 32 tentacles. 5 octopuses, 40 tentacles. And 6 octopuses, 48 tentacles. And if we kept on going with using the octopuses and the tentacles, we will build up the whole of the 8 times table. And we also have the 8 times table over here, so let's have a go at saying that all together then. So 0 times 8 is 0, 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8 is 48. 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 8 is 72. 10 times 8 is 80. 11 times 8 is 88. And 12 times 8 is 96. Wow! Wasn't it amazing, boys and girls, that we can count up an 8 to form our 8 times table? So well done. So now we can look at this example of wondering, well, how many legs are there on these 5 spiders? So we've got 5 spiders, so 5 groups of 8, which can be written as 5 times 8 or 8 times 5. And I would like you boys and girls to pause the video while you work that out. And remember, don't count every single individual leg, count up in groups of 8 instead. So remember to pause the video and have a go. Okay, so we've got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So the answer is 40. Well done if you got that. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 8. So I want you again to have a go at working out how many legs there are between these spiders. So you can pause the video and see if you can work that out by counting up in 8s. And let's have a go at doing it all together. We've got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So well done if you got that as well, boys and girls. Next example, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spiders, 7 spiders and 8 legs. I wonder if you can write down the multiplication sentence and work out the answer this time. So it's a very tricky one this time. So again, pause the video and have a wee go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spiders, and each has got 8 legs. So we would write that as, let me have a go at using my pen tool, 7 times 8, or as 8 times 7. And you can count up in 8s then to solve that. So we go 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. And let's see if we were correct. 7 times 8 equals 56. So well done if you got that again, boys and girls. Now, finally, we're just going to have a look at the 4 and 8 times tables together. And think about if we notice any patterns in anything that's the same and anything that's different. So on the left-hand side, we have the 4 times table, and on the right-hand side, we have the 8 times table. So just take a wee minute to think about any patterns that you notice between these two tables. Now, I noticed straight away that, again, all of the products in these tables are even numbers. And I can see that all of the products in the 8 times table are also in the 4 times table. So for example, 8 is in the 4 times table, 40 is in the 4 times table, and 48 is in the 4 times table as well. So there are lots of links between these tables. And again, we can use a Venn diagram to sort these multiples. So 0 would be in the middle because it's in both of these tables. As we know, any number times 0 is 0. 4, where do you think that would go, boys and girls? Point at the screen. Just a multiple of 4. 8, is that in both of the tables or is it just in one table? Point at the screen. It's in both of the tables. 45, is that in any of the tables? Nope, it's an odd number, so it's not in any of the tables. What about 12? Point at the screen where you think it should go. A multiple of 4, well done if you got that. 31, oh well, that's an odd number. So that's not in any of the tables. 24, it's in both of them. 44, point at the screen, where should it go? Oh, it's just in the 4 times table, not the 8 times table. And 40, point at the screen where you think it should go. It's in both of those tables as well. So finally, boys and girls, we're just going to have a look at how the 2, 4 and 8 times table all connect. So it's given us the example of 5 times 2, 5 times 4 and 5 times 8. So 5 times 2 is of course 10, 5 times 4 is 20 and 5 times 8 is 40. So you can see that to work out 4 times a number, you have to work out 2 times a number and double it, and then to work out 8 times a number, you double it again. So the 4 times table is double the 2 times table, and the 8 times table is double the 4 times table. Now, boys and girls, I hope that's helped you to remember some of your tables facts. Have a look now at the rest of your assignment, and I hope that you enjoy doing your work today. Don't forget, if you're stuck at anything, you can ask your teacher to help you. Thank you. Bye for just now.